Alright, let me take y'all back to March 3rd, 2020. I've just finished The Poppy War on audiobook, absolutely gutted by the book, the world, the ending, just everything about it. So what do? I return my copy of the book to pass it on to the next lovely reader, and then proceed to ignore the series for the next 9 months. And we're gonna do something about it. As a New Year's resolution. So welcome to the Poppy War vlog, where I attempt to read all 3 books in the series, finally. Oh my god. After 9 months. Okay, enjoy!
Greetings, Editing Angela here. So in my haste to get to the reading portion of this vlog, I completely skipped over what this trilogy is about. The Poppy War trilogy follows our main character Rin, who tests into the best military academy in her country of Nakan, and in there she trains to become a soldier for the country, but while she's there, war breaks out, and she basically has to learn to navigate the intricacies of warfare, the both highs and lows, as well as discovering this new power and ability that she has to harness the power of these gods. So at its core, it's a book about warfare, and the events are based on the Sino-Japanese War, but it also takes heavy influences from a lot of fantastical elements. Back to the vlog!
Hey y'all, I'm 3 chapters into the Poppy War now, and it's been going great. I picked up a lot more things that I didn't get the first time I read through it, which was through audiobook. I don't think audiobook was the best way to consume this. Like, it was fantastic regardless. And also there's so many more moments of just like dry humor that just get injected that I've totally forgot. Like, okay, the one scene in the beginning where Rin is at the temple and she's like tried to burn some incense for her test score, and the custodian comes up right as she's like sticking the incenses up her nose. Just classic gold. Good morning, y'all. Let me first take a sip of coffee. So last night I finished the Poppy War. It was excellent, as predicted. I picked up a lot more of the kind of historical undertones this time through, definitely. Like, I felt like I could make more ties between actual like Chinese history and this fantastical world, which was a plus. I was really dreading reading yesterday because my least favorite part in the book is the scene with the Federation and the sugar, and so as soon as I saw that coming, I just like set the book down and just didn't want to look at it. But we got through. I'm really interested in seeing how Rin kind of gets to be this almost anti-hero. That's what I've heard from a lot of people, and that like she makes such questionable decisions sometimes that it like you like want to scream at her through the book. So yeah, on to the Dragon Republic. Hello all, it is night. I am 12% into the Dragon Republic, and this is just so depressing right now to read about. I'm just very disappointed in Rin, but in all the characters really. And like, we were expecting this. Like, we knew that she was gonna be kind of an asshole, you know, after all of this was gonna happen, and like she was gonna hit a low point. But she's hit a real low point. You know, at this point I don't even recognize Rin from who she was. Like, just that one scene where she's like basically choking out one of the guards for the Pirate Queen. Like, I just thought back to the Rin who even just graduated out of the academy and had her fair share of tough times. Even that Rin is totally different from this one. Is it bad that the only thing making this book like bearable right now is every time one of the other characters yells at Rin and tells her she's being an idiot? Like, I do get a sense of satisfaction from someone telling her to get her act together every single time. But then it kind of turns into disappointment when she doesn't. I've heard this book is a lot of people's favorite of the series, so I'm interested in seeing how this all plays out, because the plot is going in several directions that makes it very different from the first book. And I am interested in seeing how this actually leads to the third book, because like the the scale of the plot is getting very grand. Hopefully less disappointment in the future update. Hello and good evening. I just got some shirts and they came in today. This one has a rooster on it, and you all know what else has roosters in it? The Rooster Province in the Dragon Republic, which I just finished today. Yay! Whoa! After 6 whole freaking days. So I'm gonna keep it really real with y'all. The first like 40% of this book made me super depressed. I was not liking it. War in general is not a topic that I enjoy, which is really funny that I'm reading this series that I have stressed that is all about war. Then around 50% of the way in, we get this kind of reprieve with this more like fantastical element that plays more into the gods themselves. So that kind of soothed my hatred for this book for a little bit. And then we got to more war. And the ending left me so shook. Like in my review, I thought literally it felt like there's 4 books crammed into one book with just how much action there was. R.F. Kuang absolutely wastes no time in this book. No word, no plot, nothing is ever like just fluff. If something doesn't happen in like the month that's significant, she skips past it with one sentence, and it's just so refreshing. It actually reminds me a lot of Ray Bear, just because in that book, Jordan Ofeko also doesn't waste time in like the unnecessary parts of the plotline. Like 6 months can pass by with just one sentence, and that's really refreshing in a fantasy where sometimes it feels like things just drag on and on and on and on with no stop. I was more shook at the end of the Poppy War because the Poppy War prepared me for just probably the inevitable craziness that would happen in the Dragon Republic. So I can't say that I was, well, okay, I was surprised. I was definitely surprised by the end of the Dragon Republic, but I wasn't like so shocked. I just knew that shit was gonna hit the fan, and it did, and it was so good, and I can't wait to read The Burning God. I need a break. I didn't bring this up before, but is it Naja or Nija? Uh, I know we're supposed to be taking him pretty seriously, you know, he's a scary guy, but like Naja is the name of this cartoon that I used to watch when I was a little kid, and in the cartoon, Naja is this like tiny little like devil baby with like rings and like flies with like fire and stuff. And every time I see that name in the book, I just think of this little angry baby that's like shaking his fist and flying in the sky, and I can't take him seriously, basically is what I'm saying. Hello, it's 1 a.m. Hi, it's 1 a.m. Why am I awake on a weeknight at 1 a.m.? Let me tell you. So until about 3 hours ago, I had not read The Burning God for approximately a week and a half. Don't know what it was. I had the biggest like Poppy War hangover. I just wasn't ready for whatever was coming next. And I finally got through about 50% today, just now. My mind is reeling, just literally my heart has non-stop been like up, down, up, down, up, down. Like first, I've been making some predictions on what I think was going to happen, at least in the first few chapters. Some of those came true. There was a lot of betrayals, as is per usual the Poppy War series. Like at this point, I have come to assume that anybody Rin comes into even slight contact with, or has a slight like they are acquaintances, they will betray Rin. I have come to just, that is my understanding of the series at this point. We are meeting some old friends that we haven't seen in a while, which is nice. It's very welcoming. I welcome these old pals coming back. The main plot point that was presented to me about this book was that it focuses more on the people, like the actual people of Nikon. I always thought that we would get a lot of tension between Rin and specifically like the villagers or the peasants that she'd be leading, but that's not necessarily the source of tension in this book, which I do find better than what I thought it originally was. From here, there's going to be a little bit of a spoiler, so please take heed. Make your way to the next spot. I really wanted to hop on here to talk about how absolutely satisfying the 3 death scenes were that just happened with Rin, where she first kills, is it Viceroy? I never know how to pronounce these characters' names, but she first kills the Yin general, then she kills Gurubai, and then she kills, what's his face? Soji. Absolutely exquisite. Like, just oof, just oh so tasty. Just the little the details of the death, and just how like perfect and how absolute it was. So, oh man, has murder ever been so well crafted? Every little detail about how Rin served these men their death sentences was just oof, justice. Like, I know justice is a hotly debated topic in this book, and how there's no real such thing as justice or morals or ethics. Uh, all of those are just concepts that people wishy washy determine are right or wrong. But if justice were to take form in this book at any point, this is how it would look. It's magnifique, just so delicious. My goal, this person's goal. I'm going to finish this book before the end of this week. If I say it out loud, I feel like it might spur, my brain to actually hold on to it. And we're going to finally put an end to this series that's been plaguing me for the past year. It's going to be over. I've definitely made a few predictions from the reactions of a few people who I've seen read this book. It's going to be emotional for sure. Whether like happy or sad, there's definitely going to be a mix. Like, this is not going to be like a super straightforward ending. It's going to be complex. So I think there's obviously going to be, major character deaths. I'm not going to say which characters that I think, but I think there's going to be major character deaths. And I think that it's going to be like a bittersweet ending. And hopefully it actually like cuts off, like the plot doesn't leave a ton of room where it's like, oh, what if like maybe in the future, like I want there to just be like a clean, like this part of this history in this nation is over. But that's not really how history works. It's so fluid and continuous that it might be more true to the nature of history to make it kind of open-ended, and like there's some unfinished business. But come on, it's a fantasy novel. We're not writing history here. Please, I just need some resolution to the story. It is done. I finished The Burning God only 2 days after my last update, so woohoo, didn't take like forever this time. First, let me say that my initial predictions, like when I was maybe still about 10 or 15% of the way through the books, completely wrong. I think about 3/4 of the way through the book, I began to see more of how, because these different players were getting these shifts in powers, the plot would shape up to be a lot different than what I thought in the beginning of the book. With these books that are really intense, I feel like I always have to prep myself for the absolute worst possible endings just so that I don't get hit with like unexpected emotions. And while I think the ending of the book was very much justified, very much fell in line with what can only be expected from the fates of our main characters, I would say that it was almost an easy way out. Like, we get this fade to black because at the end of the book there's still this looming plot thread of this other enemy that is like in the imminent future, and there's still disasters from the fallouts of just war itself. With the ending that is there, it feels like it's kind of like a cop out of this story, although honestly, like, there is no easy way to end this book. Like, I was I was maybe like 2 chapters from the end, and I was sitting there thinking, like, how the heck is Arf Kwong going to end this book? Like, I wouldn't want her job of trying to end this massive story. Anyways, The Burning God focuses overall more on the logistics and kind of the nitpicky details of war, because Rin comes into this position of power where she's more entrenched in like actually planning out the logistics of war. When you have a war that spans an entire country, you not only have the cities that you are currently located in, but you also have the fallout of the cities that you travel through, of the people whose lives, like the villagers, their lives don't just stop just because their city was like taken or switched powers or whatever. Like their lives still go on and they struggle all the same, with or without the rule of like, you know, foreign or non-foreign forces. Like that's what makes this book extra kind of depressing and sad, but also really startlingly realistic. And like the end kind of part of The Burning God really exemplified that, and was one of my favorite parts, actually. You know, but now that I finished the trilogy, I think for sure I can say that I liked The Burning God the most, and after that is the Poppy War, and then the Dragon Republic. So I think I enjoyed The Burning God the most because it was the book that had more logistical details on war, and not even just like the flashy parts of war, but even like the mundane parts of war, and also kind of had a lot of different moving pieces that got tied together and added in, and it really showed how dynamic warfare is. The Poppy War is my next favorite just because I am a sucker for like school training in like the trope in any books. So obviously like the first half of that book has a really special place in my heart, and then setting up the world and meeting these kind of like really key characters in the shaping of Rin as, you know, a soldier and then a general. And the Dragon Republic, it's not like bad. Like I truly really enjoyed, I think at least like 2/3 of the book, but just starting out, I think we really meet Rin at her low point in the Dragon Republic as a character, and that was really good to see in her development. But it's just like you have to suffer through a lot of her not great moments before you get to the good moment at the end. Overall, I'm glad to have finally finished this series. I really hyped it up way too much. Like I put too much pressure on myself to read it. Like it was really good, and I should have just finished it from the get-go instead of like hyping my fear up behind how good this book series was. It's good. It's just like, I don't know why I was so scared to read it. So thanks for sticking around for my Poppy War vlog. Let me know if y'all like this format of vlogging for reading like an entire series, because they do take a while, but they're kind of fun because now as a reader, I almost never see a series entirely through like till the end. But yeah, let me know if there are any other series that y'all would recommend that, or maybe even similar to the Poppy War. If you like this video, please click like, and if you want to see more, click subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.